In an interview recently, I was asked to share tips on how to reduce data consumption on smartphones. I discovered this could actually make a good YouTube topic. And before concluding on that, I took a survey to ask people or find out how this topic is going to be helpful to them. And I was surprised to see a huge number of persons expressing their grievances on how they've discovered their mobile phone is drinking or sucking up their data on daily basis. And today, I am going to be sharing with you 10 hacks to leverage to reduce the data consumption on your smartphone. And if you watch to the end, I'm going to be sharing data plans I've discovered to be cost effective and also has a reduced data consumption rate. Are you excited already? So am I. Let's jump right in. If smartphones are regarded as one of the major sources of distraction, then learning how to use your smartphone productively is very important. And on this channel, we teach everything about smartphone productivity and profitability. And if this is the kind of video you want to keep receiving, hit the subscribe button down below. And to get notified when I release a fresh video, hit the bell icon and you will be first to know when I drop a fresh video. My name is Frederick. Keep watching. So before we begin talking about the hacks, you need to understand how your phone's activities, the things that you do on your phone, is consuming your data. Now you can see the different streaming services that you use that are also consuming data from your phone. When you're making WhatsApp calls or even video calls, especially if you're always the type that is always on Zoom conferences or Zoom calls, you also need to know that these things consume a huge number of data on your phone. So as you can see on the screen, even sending and receiving messages, emails, sending emails and receiving emails, all has their contribution or all has a chunk of your data that they are eating up. That aside, the first thing you're going to do in reducing your mobile data usage is to first know how you are using your data. I know that so many people watching this video do not even check on their mobile data usage. They just keep complaining about how much their phone is using up on daily basis or how their data plans are not enough or data subscriptions are not lasting for them. But you do not know that you are the one, every time you turn on your data and move from one app to the other, that you are actually using up your own data. So now you're going to go to your phone settings and check out your data usage.
I'm going to go to my connection. So the phone I'm using, it might be different in yours. So just go to network and then you get to your data usage. All right. So this is my data usage. All right. I can see I've spent 1.44 gig today. All right, you can see it right here. Then the application that is using the most data is Facebook. All right, then Zoom also, that is the application that actually used the most data today, right? Was Facebook, then Zoom, then WhatsApp, system application. So when you see system application, just open it, then you're going to see the pre-installed applications on your phone. All right, these are the stock applications actually on your phone that are using data. So you can see YouTube as well. Okay, so when you've gotten to know the things that use up your most data, because most times it is actually not even most times, it's actually applications on our phone that uses our data the most. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am now going to ensure that each of these applications are using the necessary data, all right, are not overusing my data. Okay, so for instance in Facebook, so I'm going to open Facebook and then you're going to see something here. So you're going to see today's data, mobile data. All right, so Facebook used 405 megabytes of my data, all right, just today. Okay, so you're going to see another thing down here, background data. All right, in background data, what this means is foreground is the data that it is using while you are on Facebook, then background is 7.6. This was actually before I turned it off. All right, it's already turned off right now, but in yours you're going to see that most of those applications you're using have their background data turned on. And this background data, what it does is when you are off that application, it is still running on the background. All right, the application is still running on the background. So what you're going to do first, all right, this is the first hack right now I'm talking about, is turn off the background data on all the major applications that uses your, okay, now this is the one for for Zoom, but you know that Zoom doesn't always use data when you're off a meeting. Zoom only uses background data when you are on a meeting. Okay, so but in some applications like WhatsApp, all right, you need to turn off the background data of WhatsApp so that WhatsApp don't keep using your data up while you are off WhatsApp. I hope you understood this. So the first thing you're going to do is turn off the background data of all the applications you found out that are using your data the most, like YouTube. All right, I can turn off. You can see YouTube is using up 3 MB, all right, of my data. Okay, so why this might look as if it's just 3 MB, but guess how much you could be spending on background data alone for 10 applications. Let's assume that you can see that before I turned off my Facebook's background data, it was already using 7.6. So this background data can actually mean data coming from notifications and other things that could be running on the background while you are not even on Facebook, okay, or why you're not using that particular application. All right, so that's the first hack.
Social media. I'm actually not in all the whole social medias. At least, thank God, I'm not on TikTok. That is also another place that consumes a whole lot of data, or even Snapchat. But the one I'm in that is also a big data eater is Instagram. All right, all the social media applications that you have, for every picture that you see, for every video you see, even if it's 1 second of the video, or even those of you that have left their autoplays on, right, it is going to be eating up your data. Now you've discovered the applications that are eating up the most data on your phone. So the next thing we are going to do is to start by what? Reducing the rate at which those applications are eating up our data. And we are going to start with social media applications.
All right, so we are going to start with the king of data consumption, which is Instagram. All right, so I'm going to go to my profile, and then you see the settings. I'm going to tap on accounts, and then I'm going to tap on mobile data usage. Okay. All right, so on yours, the data saver is not turned on, so you need to turn on the data saver. Now it is going to what? Reduce the quality of the videos and images that you see on Instagram. So over here you can see that you can only use high resolution of your media when your Wi-Fi is turned on, and this saves you from allowing your Instagram to consume excessive data. Alternatively to this, you can also go for the Lite version of this application. We will talk more on this over time. Over to another king of data consumption is Facebook. All right, so we are going to go to settings. All right, then we are going to go to the settings, and we are going to go to media and what? We are going to go to media and contacts. Then over here you're going to see a whole lot of things. The first thing you see is videos in newsfeed start with sound. I left it on. Sounds in the app, that doesn't have any effect on data. Then the next thing is continuous contact upload. All right, you need to turn this off. You need to also turn off links open, like, okay, you can leave that on if you like. So the next one is upload photos in HD. HD means high definition, so you can see your photos will be uploaded in standard quality. That is if it's turned off. All right, but if you turn it on, it is going to multiply the data consumption that you use whenever you are uploading images. And then I also had to turn on autoplay to Wi-Fi only. All right, so once all of this is done, you have what? Conserve the conserve the data that your Facebook uses. Finally, YouTube. Okay, so you're going to go to your settings on YouTube, go to your autoplay and turn it off. Okay, now secondly, on each of the video you would want to see on YouTube, right, you can select the menu button. Okay, let's take for instance, I want to watch this video. All right, so I'm going to tap on the 3-line button. That's the menu button. You see quality. Okay, so automatically I have already set mine for 240p, and that is actually a low quality. All right, that saves data for me, but I'm still going to change it to data saver. Now by turning it to data saver, is going to lower the rate at which I use energy, use data. I wonder why I keep saying energy. Use data on my YouTube, and you can also select that option to save data for yourself. Now, by selecting that option doesn't actually mean that the video is going to be all bad. All right, the quality is not that bad. It's still very much okay for you, but you're watching this video so that you learn how to lower your data consumption rate, and this is one of the things that ensures that. This next hack helps you to reduce data consumption by turning off the auto sync feature to your Google account. So whenever you're using different applications, it actually syncs emails, syncs messages, and some recently used data on those applications with your Google account, especially accounts that you are actually logged on to using your Google account. So go to your settings, and then you see account and sync. All right, then tap on the account and sync, and then turn off auto sync. So you have to do this manually. Okay, you have to do this manually, and then you can also turn on the Wi-Fi only. You can see several applications that are automatically syncing by itself. Every time I use any of this application, Google syncs with that application, or syncs the messages and data that I've used to my Google account. So browsers is also another place that consumes a whole lot of data. So I use my Chrome browser. All right, so when you go to your settings, you're going to see where you can turn on the Lite version. All right, so you can see Lite mode saving 13% of my data. Okay, so when you open the Lite mode, okay, you can see that the data, that's the website I've accessed, all right, and the data it is saving for me on Lite mode. Okay, so whichever application or browser that you're using, go to the setting and turn on the Lite mode so that you can begin to use lesser data on that browser. Alternatively, again, using the Lite version of that browser, I know Firefox has the Lite, UC browser has the Lite, and even Chrome also have the Lite version. Using the Lite version of browsers helps save a whole lot of data for you while browsing. The next hack is to ensure that your Google Play Store is not automatically updating your applications. All right, so we are going to go to the settings. All right, then we are going to go to general. Okay, go to your general, then you see auto update apps and auto play videos. So we are going to switch them to only update over Wi-Fi, and then also to auto play videos only when connected to Wi-Fi. Most times this might actually be default to update anytime. All right, and this can actually be done without you even knowing, and thereby using up or consuming a lot more data than usual.
The seventh hack is the data type that you're using, or network type. Now, there used to be the G, right? Remember when you're using a Java phone and you always see G, that G means GPRS, or E, that means edge. All right, this network type actually uses a little amount of data because of the things that you're accessing, the website you're accessing is compressed enough so that it can be able to be read, all right, so that you can be able to access those websites in those days with small data. Now, if you remember when we were using Java phones or Symbian, or back in the days before smartphones became into existence, we used to use 10 MB data to do a whole lot of things, go from one Facebook to another. And the reason is because, number one, the screen size of the phones we are using were quite small, and then we were not using a fast internet. The faster internet keep getting, we are quite celebrating 5G, but guess what? When 5G finally becomes a normal thing, we are going to also be multiplying our data consumption by 3. So if you think that you're okay enough to use your 3G instead of your 4G, then switching back to 3G is actually going to reduce data consumption. Yes, it might reduce your internet speed, all right, but it is also going to reduce the data consumption of your phone. But if you think that is okay for you to stay on 4G or even to stay on 5G, then stay on it, all right. But to reduce data, I will also have to tell you as a hack that going from 4G to 3G, this phone actually uses 3G, all right. My Android uses 4G, and I know the rate at which 1 gigabyte of data on this phone lasts longer than 1 gigabyte of data on my Android.
Whenever you allow your friends to get access or gain access to your hotspot, you might not actually know what is going to be happening. Their auto updates can actually immediately set off and consume all the data that you have on your phone. So to ensure that they are not using more than the expected data you want them to use, turning on your one-time data limit is going to be helpful. All right, so over here you can set up the size of data you want them to use, and then you can set up when exceeded that it turns off, and then you get notified that they have exceeded the only data amount you are giving them access to. So this is also one of the ways that you can use to reduce your data consumption when you are sharing your hotspot with anyone.
The next one is Lite version of applications. Now, I know of Chrome Lite, I know of Facebook Lite, I know of Instagram Lite, I know of Telegram Lite as well. So switching from the major or main applications of this app, or main versions or normal versions of this application to their Lite version actually is going to reduce the rate at which data is being consumed. What does Lite mean? Lite means a compressed version of the main application or the main version of that app. All right, and the more it is compressed, the more it's going to reduce some qualities like picture quality, text quality, video quality, and all the media qualities on those applications, all right, and thereby reducing the data usage on the Lite version.
Using your GPS service offline also saves a whole lot of data. So people actually think that whenever you're using your GPS that you need to stay online so that the navigation or the direction it's not lost. But no, whenever you search up the place you want to go, save the place and then turn off your data to save your data. Now let's take for instance that I want to go to this place. So when I've typed in the place and I've seen direction, start and save. So what I'm going to do is to tap on the save, then select the want to go and then select done. So by doing this, that place is going to be saved. The direction is going to be saved such that even if I turn off my data, I can still have access to the direction via my Google map to that place. And by so doing, saving a whole lot of data for myself.
For data plans that you might want to switch to that is cost effective and also has less data consumption rate, well, before I talk about that, you should note that I have a friend that does it. I'm going to do it again. I used to do it, right? Remember that whenever you have a new SIM, that your network provider, whether MTN or Airtel, they are going to be giving you a double of your plan. All right, so if you had used, like before now, I used to use MTN. All right, so whenever I subscribe to 10 gigabytes plan, it multiplies into 2 and I get 20 gig, and it always lasts for me perfectly, and it's only available for new SIM. So you might want to actually switch to a new SIM for your browsing. Yes, you might want to switch to a new SIM. Airtel also offers that, and MTN also offers that. Now, coming to another end, MTN has a plan called data for you. I think that is what it's called, and you get it by dialing *121#, and you get to see the amount of data that can be offered to you at a cheaper cost. And I also discovered that buying data through that means of 121 is cost effective, one, and also has a lesser plan and also has a lesser data consumption rate. Okay, so you can switch to that and use *121 to do your subscriptions on MTN, or you get a new MTN SIM. And for Airtel, I used to use 10 gigabytes plan of 3,000 naira that is supposed to last for 1 month, but I discovered that it never gets to 7 days. So instead of to keep using that plan, I switched to the bench plan, and the bench plan is 7 days for 6 gig. Okay, now I also noticed that it has a lesser data consumption rate because I discovered that I use these bench plans for the full 7 days. Okay, so now instead of me to keep using 10 gig and spend 3,000 naira in less than 2 weeks, I can buy like 3 times, and that is 9,000 naira. All right, I can rather switch to the bench plan where I get to subscribe my data but with 1,500 naira on weekly basis. So these are actually the hacks. Even your MTN also has bench plans that you might want to use. So instead of you to keep buying data that's supposed to last for 100 days, buy data that will last you lesser and has more data plan as well, and then refresh it when it is exhausted. So the applications that can help you to reduce your data consumption and also do a whole lot of functions like limit the rate at which some applications eat up your phone, and also keeps you updated on how each application is consuming your data. In fact, it leaves a notification telling you how your data, or how each application, or how your data is being consumed on per second or per minute. Okay, so these applications, I'm going to list them and also show you how it is used.
On my screen is my data manager, the application I use to see how my data subscription is running. So I've already keyed in my data subscription of 6 gig that is supposed to last for 7 days. So it shows me the applications that are using the data the most, and even also how my data is running every second. All right, so when you go to apps, it's supposed to show applications that are currently running under your mobile data. Okay, and up here in the notification box, you get to see how your data is being used every second. All right, and also applications that are using it. In the history section, it shows you how you are using your data every hour. So this application is quite awesome, and I'll recommend it for you, so you know if your network is cheating you in your data subscription or not. So the next one is Data Eye. All right, first off, it shows you the monthly data usage on your phone. All right, you can see data saving mode. All right, yes, it actually, when turned on, it helps to save or reduce how your phone is using up data. Okay, so over at the control section is where you get to control or monitor applications that get access or have access to your data, so you can turn it on or turn it off. So these applications are right on Play Store, and I'll leave their download link on the description.
I hope these tips were helpful. If yes, then hitting the subscribe button and turning on notification will avail you the opportunity of always being notified when I drop a fresh video. My name is Frederick. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.